When the ICJ ruled that there was a plausible risk that Israel was committing a genocide in Gaza, many expected countries to act to stop the killing. But what if I told you that even after the world's highest court issued its warning in January 2024, arms from 51 countries were still flowing to Israel? A year-long Al Jazeera investigation based on Israeli tax authority import data, customs records and freedom of information requests has found a shocking reality. More than 2,600 shipments of military-related goods worth over $800 million entered Israel between October 2023 and October 2025, 91% of them after the ICJ ruling. And this wasn't just from Israel's close allies like the United States. These were arms originating from countries that publicly condemned the war or called for a ceasefire. Arms originating from Britain, Canada, France, Germany, Italy and Spain continued entering Israel until the October 2025 ceasefire, even though many of them said that they would impose arms restrictions or embargoes on the weapons sales to Israel, and all of them called for a ceasefire. In fact, many countries even increased their imports after the ICJ ruling. So as the genocide unfolded, as hospitals were bombed, and as images of starving children spread around the world, arms exports to Israel actually increased. Military-related goods, also originating from Brazil, China, Singapore, Switzerland and Turkey, were all entering Israel after the ICJ ruling, despite these countries publicly criticising Israel's war on Gaza. And the timing of some of these shipments is also striking. When Israeli media reported in 2024 that Israel was running low on ammunition, bullet-related imports surged. Then, in the lead-up to the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation massacres, when starving Palestinians seeking aid were shot at while collecting food, imports linked to bullets spiked again. The investigation also found that during a ceasefire from January to March 2025, Israel was still ramping up its imports of arms. And what was the biggest category of arms arriving into Israel's ports and airports? Explosives, worth more than $600 million, like the ones that were used to flatten entire neighbourhoods, destroy hospitals and kill more than 70,000 Palestinians, including more than 20,000 children. Arms experts told Al Jazeera that it's reasonable to conclude that the increase in imports from around the world, including from countries that publicly condemned the war, contributed to Israel's killing in Gaza. And the genocide is still continuing. Since the so-called Gaza ceasefire in October 2025, Israel has killed more than 850 Palestinians. And during the final 2 months of 2025, more than $80 million in military-related imports has entered Israel. And again, as world leaders issue more statements of concern and condemnation, at least 224 military-related shipments arrived into Israeli ports originating from 28 different countries after the ceasefire. As Niamh Gordon, an Israeli professor of international law and human rights, told Al Jazeera, country after country has contributed to the evisceration of the international order. The very states that helped build this legal order are now playing a central role in its dismantlement.